You thought you could just go on Twitter, be this guru overnight. Nah, man, you gotta put the work in, baby. You gotta study, partner. You gotta take some bumps and bruises, man.
But this is one of my all-time favorites too. This is seasonality, right? And this is seasonality for Tesla, right? And you can see that in June, Tesla closes higher than May, 79% of the time.
That's not noise.
Like, yeah, well, you can then say, okay, what's the distribution, right? What are the outliers? So this is that month, right? Out of the last 14, only 3 were red, and the worst one was down 11%, down 5, down 3 and a quarter, or 3 and a third, right? So you can see the raw data, you can see the average, you can see the 25th and 75th percentile outcomes. And you can do this, you can just change symbols here by just typing. So we can type like KO for something that's been around longer. Right, Coke's been around like 50 years, right? So this is seasonality for Coke going back 50 years, 50 years, right? You're telling me that buying at the end of January and holding for February and March isn't a solid strategy, right? Like 50 years. Or wait until the end of September and buy it, and you have a 66% chance of a higher close in October, right? I see all kinds of strategies in just this alone. This is a core feature in Bloomberg, and if you don't have Bloomberg, you have to buy Seasonax, which is like twice the price of TrendSpider. All it does is seasonality, which is stupid. But it's not just by month, right? We can do it by week, right? This is Coke's seasonality when it loads here. By week, going back 19 years, right? So you can tell next 3 weeks are good. Then it's kind of shitty for a bit. Right. But you can also go by day of week, right? Like you want to see what it's like trading Coke by day, going back to the beginning of July. Well, don't buy it on Friday and hold through Monday. There hasn't been a fucking positive Monday since the beginning of June, right? Or you can go back a little further, right? Like Mondays are bad days for Coke lately. Not always, right? You go back far enough and that's not the case, but the last few months it has been, right? You can also go down hour of day. Right? Like, what's it like trading Coke by hour since the beginning of July? Right? Well, the best hour to own Coke is 11:30 to 12:30, right? The worst hour is the last hour of the trading day. So this gives you a way to look at the seasonal performance of an asset and slice and dice it a bazillion different ways. But it also gets cooler too, because you can exclude data. Like if you want to put every non-election year in this box, you can just look at seasonality for just election years. Or you can just do remove 2008, 2012, 2020 and see what this looks like without those crazy years, right? Or you can just type remove March 2020 and leave everything else, right? So it gives you the ability to filter data and slice it a million ways so you can actually understand it. So this is one of my all-time favorite things. Because it's so simple. Right, at least the interface. The calculations are complicated. Oh, I forgot to show you one.
Well, those are the ones where people get gut feelings on them, and they're like, "I swear it's sell on Thursday." Buy, sell in May.
But this is the way
and this is proving it.
Yeah. This is how you can prove that. Last thing I forgot to show you here. It's not just price. You want to know when volume was highest on a stock? You can do this by relative volume over 1. You want to know when momentum, when price was above RSI reading of 70, you can do that, or below an RSI of 30, or the percentage that it was above a 20 period SMA. So there's all kinds of different ways to measure this, by price, by volume, by momentum, right? Like you can pick and choose and kind of understand the seasonality of something.